out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to Hoop Jargon.
What's up? It's your boy Hoop Jargon back with another video, man. And this is something I want to attack for a little minute, man. I know it's in vogue right now to talk about Brittany Renner. As y'all know, on this channel, I've shared my opinions about her about a month ago. That video did relatively well. And I just want to keep it going, man. As y'all know, she had a classic interview with Kevin Samuels yesterday. And a lot of people, have their opinions about that. And I just want to address that. So my boy SyrTyce is going to come in once he fulfills his work obligations, and he's gonna join the chat. But to right now, oh shit, he in right now. Shout out to my boy Ghost, man. Always showing love to the channel, man. My guy. Without further ado, let's bring my boy in. SyrTyce. What's good, man?
Man, I was trying to change my avatar, and oh my god, it just went through a circle. I went to the post office to return these hats that I ordered for the Manosphere meetup, right?
Okay.
And yeah. And I get there, and guess what I forget? No, not the hats. I forgot my wallet. So I drive back. I mean, thank God it's just down the street. Then that's when you text me, and I'm like, oh shit, we do got to get on today, But happy Friday to you, bruh.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
A lot to talk about. I got a lot of thoughts about things in the sports and outside the sports world,
Shout out to all the early birds. Let me say this. Shout out to all the early birds, man, pulling up, man. I appreciate all y'all.
Hey, how come you don't let me see if I can do this myself. How come you don't stream this to the group?
I just gotta share the link, and usually I'm on my phone, so I'm used to not doing that.
I think I can do this. Oh, you can do it from your phone? Okay, cool.
Yeah, usually I'm on my phone, but I'm on my computer because it's active.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Yeah, stream this to the group. I'm sure I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with my thoughts, there. Yeah, I saw you rocking the Houston thing hat yesterday. I'm like, oh, damn, I forget he is from Houston. So he's allowed to wear that,
Hey, man. Hey, one thing I hate is bandwagon fans. And so when I see random people out here in Cali with Houston stuff on, I'm like, you don't like the damn Astros.
Dude, the LA. Okay, so you've been out there a couple years. I think that the LA sports fan or the LA fan is the worst fan because most of them are casual. Not all of them. I will say this, man. Let me say this in defense of the LA sports fan, man. At the tailgate, those were okay. I'm like, okay, these are some real fans here. These are some real fans grilling, up here. But man,
I already know where you're going with this. Yeah. In total,
I remember when the Kings were Did they win the Stanley Cup? Or were they in the Stanley Cup? It was like 3 or 4 years ago when the hockey team. And people was like, what's that? I mean, and they went on Venice Boulevard, like, what's that? And people try to attribute it to, well, when you have a lot of things to do in a city, most people, and a high transplant population, most people aren't fans. I agree with that, but then I disagree with it in the sense, listen, you can't be a fan of everything. Can't be me, or I'm talking about like a sports fan who just loves just sports in general. But don't act like you a hardcore fan. That's my thing.
That's facts. That's facts. Well, being from Houston, man, you see a lot of transplant fans too, and it saturates the fan pool. But at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, man, when you grown up, you can pick the team you want, and you can be loyal to who you want to be loyal to. So again, I'm an Astros fan, I'm a Laker fan, I'm a Cowboy fan.
But isn't that part of the thing about fandom? Okay, like people criticize me and my fan of teams, and why you
shout out to HL Kid, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah, why do you root for losers? Okay, let's unpack this for a second. To the idiot that would dare call even your weed smoking, half motivated guy that makes professional is not a loser in a sense.
In life, agreed. In life, they're not a loser. Yeah, we talking about a 1% guy.
We're watching, if you're a fan of the sport, you're watching it at the highest level. I used to be a Wolves season ticket holder, and part of that was when I lived in Minnesota. Part of that because it was so cheap, but also I got to see action up close. And I was going to a lot of high school games and pro games then too. Man, the differences are just astounding. I think you and I talked about this on Nate's show as a slight pivot, but it's sort of like that casual fan logic of, oh, he a scrub. And I remember when Brian Scalabrine schooled all these dudes, and it's like the guy at the end of a bench. Okay, what's the dude who used to be on the Lakers that's like a little cult hero that's on the Bulls now that I can't think?
Alex Caruso.
Bingo. Man, Alex Caruso would smoke 99% of these people. Okay? Adam Morrison right now would smoke most of these college guys, the top college guy. Okay, maybe not the top college guy,
But for the most part, yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah. So, but the point is that you're still watching. And then also, I love watching growth. Well, can't say I've seen growth with the Lions, but
it's relative. Growth is relative.
No, but you love seeing like, okay, I've watched this come up. I saw this as a seed and how it got planted. And that's the real beauty of sports. Not this now. If you thought the Rams, and let me say this because we're all over the place. So now, with Mr. OBJ and a Rams guy, I saw a couple guys in my sport group like, yeah, let's go. And I reply back, let's? I'm like, wait a minute. What? So I find myself in two different camps with OBJ. I can't stand my friend who's from New York who, he's the average New Yorker fan who doesn't like him because he went on a boating trip during their playoff run, or not? You remember that when they went to Miami for
very Tony Romo-esque, yeah,
and they were like, man. I said, so you really think that had an impact on the game? Shut up. But you don't like him, or you want to say he's a piece of shit, which you would never say in his face. But I don't care for Odell Beckham my damn self. So I find myself defending him on that side.
I get it.
But then this guy gets a buyout. Well, no, he didn't get a buyout or whatever. They basically whatever with the NFL. That salary system is completely different. And by the way, shout out to John Wall. But now he gets to join another stacked team. Yes, Von Miller's not what he used to be, but it ain't like he's no scrub. These guys literally have 5 recognizable names. Now, it's no guarantee, especially in NFL, but come on. Now you got Cooper Kupp. Now you got ODBJ.
Jalen Ramsey,
right?
Aaron Donald, Mike Stafford.
I mean, shit. All the names are there, but that's
imagine getting rid of Deshaun Jackson and replacing with Odell Beckham Jr.
You know what? Wait a minute. Little Big Nate show is on here today, right now.
No. You gave a shout out to some.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me see if I can get him over here. But yeah, exactly. And by the way, they were using him wrong. I think he would be like a good slot receiver still. I'm talking about Deshaun Jackson. I don't think they were using him as effective. But that's kind of crazy. I heard he's the one who asked for that release.
Yeah, he did because he saw his role diminishing, and I'm sure he wants to be more of a playmaker. He's always been a playmaker.
Hey man, shout out to that man. And that look. This team is probably going to be competitive. I still think I can contribute. I'm taking my talents elsewhere, and I'm cashing this out. That's a man move. I got it, because right now it's like everybody is paying for championships. You know what I mean by when I say paying for championships?
Yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're giving up. No, not necessarily that, but you're giving up money that's guaranteed to. I want to have a chance at a ring or whatever. Okay, let's be clear here. You may not agree with this. Your audience may not agree with this, but this ring discussion, that's primarily a media thing in a sense, but it was mainly used to delineate the superstars. nobody cares about Randy Brown on the Bulls. Shout out to Randy Brown or whatever, Nobody cares about Samaki Walker's contribution to the early. Okay, nobody gives a darn about Jason Williams having a good game in the 2006 finals.
Facts.
Right? This whole I'm gonna give up guaranteed money, just so I can overstack the sandwich, or the already stacked sandwich, to be a part of something, is complete nonsense. Now, every scenario is not the same, so we can't be doing this like for like. Like, you'll have people who compare trades versus guys who ask for buyouts. Like, I'll even give Blake Griffin a bone. I don't know if you saw what my boy Isaiah Stewart on the Pistons did with Blake Griffin last week or what have you. But word is that they didn't like each other when Blake was on the Pistons at all, And I think Blake's scenario was he took a buyout because he recognized he's not the player that he once was. Yeah. And he's got a bunch of young wolves on his ass. And it's not good for him, trying to get into these other ventures. So let me give this money back. The organization's been good to me since I've been here. Just, let me go somewhere, with Brooklyn. But so his scenario is different than Kemba Walker leaving $12 million guaranteed dollars on the damn table to go to the Knicks. I mean, this is which ties into my John Wall thing. If I was John Wall, I'd say to the media, I am honoring my contract. I am honoring the agreed upon terms of my contract.
Sometimes it get just like that. Like Marshawn, shout out to Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, right. Or what's the machine one? Cut the check. Whatever.
CTC.
I'm here to play. They don't want me to play. But that's a good segue. I mean, I know you want to get some more serious, but I do want to throw this out at you about John Wall. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I want to get your thoughts.
Okay.
Could it be? Now, I remember John Wall was looking good early last year when he got to Houston. And I didn't look up the stats, but I do remember him having some hot, near 20-point games and such average. Could it be that Houston does not want to feature him, where in a very similar fashion with Blake Griffin and the Pistons, you will see that he is really drastically deteriorated, and it would help, they're not going to, it would hurt a trade even more. Like right now, he's got 2 more years on his deal, this year and next year. Okay. That's a lot of salary for a team to eat up. Now, it's attractive in that it goes into their cap space, and then once he leaves, but he's an albatross. I'm just saying, I think he may have declined that much. What's your
I'm gonna answer this easy for you. Like, he is on the way down. He does not have tangible results. You have Jalen Green, the group is a good microcosm. People have bought into Jalen Green being the new guy. So there's no reason to have John Wall on that court, because if you ask John Wall, of course he like, Jalen Green can't hold my jockstrap if you ask him. But you don't want that energy on your team, because obviously it's a new area. You got a new coach, you got a new nucleus. So Christian Woods, you got Billy Young, who's Kenyon Martin's son?
It's Kenyon Martin. It's Kenyon Martin. I had to take a. Of course, I had to take a call. So it's Kenyon Martin's son.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So my whole thing is like it's over. Like, John Wall has no fit. If he's gonna fit, he had to kill last year when him and Boogie. It was Kentucky reunion, and that was supposed to have been reinvigorating some Houston. It did not work. Christian Wood actually signed harder than anybody last year. I think he came from the Pistons as well. Nobody, factoring in Christian Wood being
it just went
last year.
I don't know if it went. I don't know if it went static. I don't know if it went staticky for you or me. Hold on, I'm just trying to fix something. Who are you talking about? From you think that came from the Pistons?
Christian Wood.
Oh yeah, man, he had a hell of a year from the Pistons, man. I really liked him. I saw that. Did you watch that game on Wednesday with them in Detroit? with Jalen Green and going against
Nah,
Cade?
I didn't get to catch it.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't get to catch it.
Yeah, I'll move on. Whatever. You had some other topics you wanted to address, so.
Yeah, I want to get into the KS and Brittany Renner thing. I think that's everybody. Man, shout out to Rap God in the building.
So
yeah, man, because this is I actually can screen share today, so I'm excited that my computer is agreeing with me today.
Before you get into this is one of those stories I had. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You good?
This is one of those stories I truly chose not to give a care about, even though I know who PJ Washington is because I follow sports. I didn't know who Brittany Renner was. It's one of those stories, like a Will and Jada type of story where, okay, just so you know about me, I can't stand celebrity entertainment culture, okay? I much less can't stand social media, but just hear me out. So this morning, literally, I saw a KS video and it said, "When Doves Cry," I like to play on the Prince title. And I click it and I see this set and I'm like, damn, that shit looks straight as hell. What the hell is this? And I'm like, oh, this is Brittany Renner. So I listened to the interview and I go into the group of his that I'm in, right? Okay, the mix, and I make a comment about it. And I'd love to, well, I don't know if I should show the group or whatever, but I'll just say this. O-Man came through it. Shout out to Obsidian.
Okay. Shout out to Obsidian, man.
But we vastly disagree with this. And just as I was coming back, they were talking about it on Bernard Riley's show today. Yeah, right. And they were getting into, where O-Man was wrong. Now,
and let me say this before you go. To Antisocial Social podcast sharing.
She's in the building. Shout out to her.
Yeah, man. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah, she's in the building. Yeah. She's straight up legit.
Sure.
Dude, let me just say my things. I don't know if you want to go this line by line or what strikes you. I'm going to surprise you with this. I don't care about Brittany. I recognize that there are people out here like her. I blame the males about her with this.
I do.
Just like I blame the males who keep these adult entertainment things open. And then you complain about their sense of entitlement and all this, but you make it a point to frequent there, regularly feed into that. I blame you all for creating this Frankenstein monster. I said males. I make a distinction between males and men. Okay. She is what she is. Now, and I'll end on this. I did not realize that she was that chick that was doing those soccer things in the early 2010s or whatever. So that's her. Okay. I'm like, wow. This social media influencer, let me repeat that. Let me do it on camera here for a second. Let's see here. 1 second. Cam up. Hold on 1 second. This whole start cam, this whole social media influencer, that whole thing as a career title or this is what you do is such like, you can't be serious.
It's wild, man.
And I know people will say, me, what about your boy KS? He was selling perfume. What about your boy Obsidian? They influence. No. I'm talking about these people who literally stand to look pretty and wear products and take these ultra contrived poses.
Yeah.
She really takes herself. But again, if the brothers wouldn't stand for this, their behavior would change.
It would change. They would have no choice but to change. Absolutely.
So I gave you a good lead in. You take it off. You're up to bat.
All right. So I'm gonna start off like I showed y'all in my community tab. I met Brittany Renner at the club 2014.
Why don't you should switch off the screens.
No, then I would have to go to doggone Instagram on my computer. I don't want to see. So I met her. She's cool. I would give her that off rip. That is a very cool girl. She was following Hoop Jargon on Instagram at the time. Then that's before she really took off. When she really took off, they do that Kanye West thing. They don't follow nobody back. So it is what it is. So as I've watched her through the years, I've been a person just physically just very attracted to her. Like, she always come with the same thing with ass out first. Brother, we like ass. It is what it is. And then to see where she's kind of evolved to from where she started, it's been an interesting case study. And I want to go over, I'll probably do about 10 minutes of the actual interview, but I want to kind of give a context to the women that dudes, especially prominent dudes, you need to just stay the hell away from, man. Because this girl got an agenda. And in my opinion, once you kind of start to learn that no matter how attractive she is, dudes tend to put you in whatever category they put you in. Because it's just, at the end of the day, dudes want to be with a girl who's agreeable, who they can deal with. And I think she has slowly found out she's not an agreeable, dealable woman. So she's kind of delving into this cantankerous, just, me against scorched earth, me against whatever she feels, her passion is for the day. That's what she is right now. I think she's kind of stuck in that lane, not necessarily knowing how to get out. So she's just kind of playing up the heel role, the bad guy role. And I think that's what's going on with her quote unquote celebrity as we go forward. I think it's unfortunate because I think that's very much against a lot of women's nature. You don't want it to be the constant punching up, punching down, punching all around. Like, you kind of want to be chill. You kind of want to be kind of non-threatening. And I think that's where she's painting herself. And I think she's kind of stuck in that role right now of what she's portraying as far as, her social media presence and what have you.
Who considers this chick a celebrity?
She gets a lot of celebrity-like attention, not necessarily red carpet, but as far as social media representation.
But all right, let me say, let me re-ask this question. I'm trying to share.
She gets a lot of celebrity-like attention, not necessarily red carpet, but as far as social media representation.
No. I know what you're going with that. Bear with me. I'm trying to share this on my sports group also. I'm asking you specifically. All right, let me ask it this way. What is her demographic?
Her demographic, in my opinion, is 35 and below women. Guys aged from about 18 to about 40, which is a pretty broad spectrum, actually. So either they come in for the first, or it's the women who are kind of aged out a little bit, who still trying to preserve the sexy, to the up and coming ones who kind of who see her as a milestone. I know for a fact somebody who saw her as a milestone, and I'll keep her name out of this chat, but she pretty much does what Brittany Renner does now, and she at the same man with her.
It's funny that you say this. I'm going to read some comments from the topic that I mentioned, if you don't mind, because I got some thoughts on that.
Go ahead, make it brief so we can go into the video, so we can do that. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'll let you go into the video, but I'll just say this briefly. I was hoping you would get into the ethnicity of the
Okay, that's fair.
And let's be honest. It's funny how I think that Black men who are basically barely 8% of the population can inflate someone's celebrity to whereas they think that they're above you because it was people like you that inflated them. You know what I mean? If that's
I got you. I got what you're saying.
sense. And you need and shout out to KS on this one. I gotta say, I don't want to make this KS tribute or anything like that. But one thing I gotta give him credit on is how he defends so-called average men, right? Now, I don't like that term. I'm not average by any stretch or whatever, but I do think that every man has something that they can bring to the table that can set them apart from every other man at the table. But for whatever reason, average is, let's just say, the greater aggregate of a group, right? And it's, you need the appeal of this to inflate to that type of status. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I can go to a bunch of cotillions or things like that and find someone who's much more refined and is more attractive than her. And keep that in mind when I said about being refined. All right. So go ahead and I'll let your video rock.
Yeah, no, and I'm with that because I think a lot more people now. I know what you mean by the average thing, but more people are average than they think. And I got into a discussion with a brother out here a few months ago because at the end of the day, everybody thinks they're special, and what the reality is, okay, everybody, to your point, does bring something to the table of this thing we call life. But if we're talking about how it impacts the average human who's not in your proximity, we understand the hierarchy level. I'll put it this way: me playing basketball at a high level, that's above average. Sorry, and even as high as I made it, which is professional overseas, I saw what a consistent NBA archetype looked like, and I knew I wouldn't get close. You understand what I'm saying? So even me, I'm 1% having played Division I, played overseas, but we talk about the next level. Carmelo Anthony's my age. When I saw Carmelo Anthony play in high school, we played the same tournament. I was like, holy shit, that's a level that I can't even imagine touching. But think of people who never had at that moment, that reclamation moment where like, okay, I'm just an average person walking this earth. And that's where a lot of people get jerked off. So they get too easy. All right, my boy Will says, my high school teammate, shout out to the sports, says, yo, I was going in a situation, but I'm tired of her. Some new IG woman needs to throw her away. When it comes to the pipeline, she is about to be 30, so her time is about to expire. So she's kind of going out with all the glory. Jordan, sad thing is, we have women like Brittany Renner in the Asian community. It's nasty, man. Social media influences a lot of these women to be straight up manipulative and dirty, man. Well, you know, you can contribute that to feminism.
Hey, who? Check this out. Check this out. I don't know. I think it's on your end where this. Hey, to the audience, do you guys hear static when Hoop is speaking? Can you indicate when Hoop is speaking if you hear static or not? I was gonna say, try to reset like your headphone jack or your headphones,
Okay.
and you just go on mute, and then I'll keep the show rolling. What you said regarding the social media. I'm sorry, you were responding to Between the Game Sports. Wow. I think the problem is that many people much better. I think that my brother, Little Big Nate's in the building. Salute. So let me say this to this point. See, I got a little pick me up because my tag team partner's in the building now. You know. Anyways, what I was gonna say, it was Between the Sports had made the comment about social media. And part of the problem with social media is that these women, it's in 5 years, you're going to hear about it. You're already hearing about it now. But these dopamine addicted women, this immediate gratification has gone to their heads. And what Between the Sports had basically saying, I'm going to oversimplify this. Between the Sports, tell me if I'm interpreting your comment correctly. Hey, like it said in the movies, well, not Pligas die every day, B, but a new chick turned 18 and 21 every day, B. And what did Biggie say? Whatever you chase some, I replace some, they will be replaced. Now, I don't deny. Damn, Hoop, I asked about your staticky connection. Ghost says you got that prison.
Yeah, I saw that shit. I'm about to boot him off my channel. That's not the Ghost, man.
Yeah, no, but I was to say this, and I'll let you roll with the video because I actually watched this in its entirety, not because I'm interested in her, but I kind of stay away from women like this, not because I'm scared or anything like that. Just I'm on that kind of energy vibe type of thing, and I don't, now you said you met her, she's cool, she's kind of morphed into this Frankenstein, if you will. And I'll just let you let it rock, and then I'll comment in between. But I just wanted to make the point about what Between the Sports was saying about. Yeah, you're right. She'll be gone in a few years. I had told Obsidian earlier. I'm like, dude, like Buffy the Body. No disrespect. Shout out to Buffy the Body. She still looks fly, but she's out of that whole thing,
Yeah, she out of there.
Go.
You only have a finite amount of time to be on top, man, with your looks, man. I'm sorry. You don't have you got a timeline. Just with anything. You got time. I mean, as a ball player, I had a finite amount of time where I could be Cliff, the ball player. After that, I had to be something else. And what you're finding is this is something that's helped her since probably her late teens. She's kind of getting out of that category, whether she understands that or not. And now you see her kind of getting her last little thrills in. Because that's, in my opinion, that's why she cashed out on PJ Washington. That was her last little lick to hit. And sorry, man, licks get hit, and unfortunately, the brother got hit, man.
Hey, Hoop, before you play this, I want to curious, since we got guys like Little Big Nate in the audience, what can you weave this connection into sports? I mean, I kind of know what it is, but can you weave into this why you feel I don't want to say obligated, but why are you covering this?
To cover this?
Yeah.
What aspect of it?
Oh no, well, let me say this. I'll weave it in if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
She targets. I saw a brother in the chat who said even in the Asian community, I'm assuming he's Asian, they're seeing this. So when I say brothers, I'm speaking about it universally. These vulture types, and I consider her a vulture. I do.
Yeah.
They like to target certain type of people, what have you, you know. And we've beaten up PJ Washington. I was gonna say PJ Brown. We've beaten up PJ Washington to death. But when I was 21, I would have been just as probably dumb. Okay, how many men are gonna have the balls to say that?
Yeah.
All right. And this is why it's important for us to be lacing up these young cats with this type of thing. Like, hey, and you know, this is why I tell women that women, you can't, you know, unless you worked in a brothel or was a sex worker or a divorce attorney, it's very hard for women to lace up their sons or the men they care about to these vultures, okay?
Right.
Because they're always looking at, you know, things from an ideal perspective, you know, the ideal woman, not these predators. Just looking at her body language, and I'll let you rock with this. Just looking at her body language this evening, I know you got the picture with her and all this or whatever. You know, I get it. Man, she's evil, man. I'm going there.
I'm not caping, homeboy. I'm way off the wagon. I'm way off, bro. So.
And I'm not. Why do rappers and athletes wife up their baby? Why? I don't know how to answer that, but I'm going to say this: that a lot of this, I won't get into all the ritual aspect and all this. I'll just let you rock it, and then we'll go through it line by line.
Bet that. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, and I want to, I'm gonna kind of get the key points when they hit something that's poignant. We'll attack that because I just want people to understand what they're dealing with right here. Brittany Renner is the type of chick, man. She gonna lead with her ass, and she gonna bring you so much chaos and entropy, man. It's gonna blow your mind, man, of dealing with a woman like this. So I'm glad she keeps doing this because in her mind she's doing well by her own profile, but all she's doing is giving you a litany of information about the kind of girl, no matter how she looks, what is she made of? What kind of, like, how does she think when the rubber meets the road? And she gonna show you over and over that she a girl, don't give it to it, especially not your damn seat. I mean, I'm from busting about, oh man, she studied the red pill, female nature. I told who passed stream. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies and Jada Black, got a buzz around the world. Well, yeah, I mean, this basically, SyrTyce, Little Big Name, we Black Ministry. It's just content that a lot of brothers who didn't get growing up, and it's gonna come off. You're gonna hear the misogynistic. You're gonna hear the you must hate women. You're gonna hear all that stuff, and no, that's not it. You just have things that are higher understanding, and you act accordingly. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of this.
That I am a gold digging, manipulative, evil, quarterback slut who has no real talent, who has sucked and fucked her way to the top, and is a overhyped, below average looking girl with clout.
I mean, damn, bars off top. I would never say Brittany Renner is not a very. Huh?
I said, I think we got a winner.
Say, Tyce?
I think we got a winner. Hey, shout out.
The interview over right there.
Right, exactly. Shout out to his editor off of this one because I was like, whoa, it made, like I said, I told you, I can't stand celebrity culture. I can't stand when you content creators, include my brother, Little Big Nate, does these things, you know. I mean this in all lightheartedness, but she nailed that completely, and she knows what. It's funny. This just tells you she knows what's out there. So I got to give her credit in being honest.
You know what? And the problem is, she don't accept her honesty, but she knows what people say to her on a daily basis. Ain't nothing worse as you being a public figure when people hit you up. Like you read them shits. I don't care who you are. You can say, "Oh, I don't worry about this. Hoop jargon, all this crazy. It's like speeding up." Oh crap! Any better now? Maybe I'll take the headphone off.
Yes, maybe do that.
You guys hear me better now?
It's not. It wasn't you. It was more the Brittany Renner thing was kind of sped up when she described herself. You may want to play that back because that was good. What she said.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll start back off with that. All right, so let's get back into it.
Let's see. That I am a gold digging, manipulative, evil, slut who has no real talent, who has such a fucked way to talk, and it is a overhyped, below average looking girl.
And again, the precision from that is because she reads all them goddamn. I don't care how beautiful a woman is. When you critique a woman, they will read all them comments. My girl was in a Sister Soldier book as a model back about 10 years ago, and on Amazon reviews, one person had this negative comment, and she snuffed it out. When they take all this. So don't think for 1 second this unashamed, what they say, unbothered shit, bullshit. You read all of them comments because you care. Like you said, those endorphin boosts that likes give women like this, they also look at the counter. You better believe your sweet ass. She looks at all them damn comments and she asks her friends who are probably enablers, what do you think? You think they think about this? I bet my life she does that.
Dude, not only do they do that, that's part of why they can't keep their phones off their hand. And as I said, it's borderline a mental illness. But it was something that you said about, it's like, wait a minute, out of all these 1,000 comments, you're great. Your girl found the one thing, and she wasn't even featured in the book. No disrespect to your girl, but the one negative comment about her, which, I mean, and granted, whenever we see our name or something about us, we're going to definitely be more focused. So I'm not going to even act like that. I'll let you continue it. But to Mr. Ghost 007, she was raised by her grandparents. So that should tell you all right there.
In Mississippi. In Mississippi.
Right. You know, but go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep it rocking, man.
Only because
that's you, boo. Like, what the fuck we talking about? Like, man, listen, guys. I've been following Brittany Renner for a minute, and I actually unfollowed her about 6 months. But to me, she's absolute trash. To me. But she used to be with and shout out to Jackson State University. She used to be with Casey Theriault, white dude, who was quarterback at Jackson State. She played soccer at the time. They were this social media up and coming couple. And the reason why she got the accolade she did is once she broke up with him, all she did was show ass all the time. So you cannot like it. That's what you said for yourself. Let me proceed forward.
End of story. All right, well, now see, I think one of the things that makes me a little unique is I don't come.
Oh, fair use, goddammit. Fair use. From
what I consider entertainment music. Was on that side of my life. So the world you live in, the world you exist in, is pretty much foreign to most people. Who have something to say about it. Right. Where do you think people get that? I mean, because you said the first thing is.
Let me say this: the difference between I see this and then when DJ Academics interviewed her like 2 weeks ago is Kevin. She respects Kevin. Look at how the way she looks at him. It's like it's from wisdom, and I'm pretty sure. And I'm going to the Black Manosphere meetup. Maybe Kevin shows up, maybe he doesn't. And usually, I'm a salesman by trade, so I can size people up really well. But generally speaking, when you have a certain charisma, people treat you a certain way, and they're more receptive to your words. Look how she's looking at him. And I'm sure if you went back and look at the DJ Academics one, her looking forward, looking away, That means she's entranced by his profile. So y'all keep that shit in mind. And I haven't seen the interview at all, but that's going to show me that when he sizes her up, she's going to respect where his words are coming from. I probably can foreshadow that. Go ahead, Tyson.
Guys like him are part of the problem, in my opinion. So I probably will pass on watching anything he covers. Sorry, it is. I'm reading this comment by the Little Big Nate show, and Little Big Nate replies, "This woman 3 years ago was in her car and said, quote, I had sex with 3 different men this week and I have a monster yeast infection. PJ Washington needs his ass whooped."
Hey.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with this woman, but but I'm not that familiar with her outside of this interview. But any woman that would say anything like that, it's just like, but because many men are the garbage men of the dating market, they'll take anything that looks remotely good. And the fact that she's from Mississippi, which blows me away. Yeah. But I'll let you continue.
Okay, Tyson, I can't hear you. If you're still talking, I can't hear you, bro.
My bad. I wasn't talking. I had to. I was talking, but it was my work call. But I did that. That's ending. Yeah, that's disgusting. What the Little Big Nate show just wrote. I mean, I remember one time, man. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but I remember one time some cat when I was younger had said, "Yeah, word is she got AIDS, man. But they say when you see her, man, you wouldn't care." And I looked at this dude like, "You actually repeated that? That these are the words that came out of your mouth?" I mean, wow.
Shout the Ray, man. Shout the Ray, man. The building. My God.
Yeah, let's
keep rolling. This is interesting.
Let's cook. Let's just cook with it. Well, my thing is that, listen, let me first say this.
Go ahead.
You can't call her. I'm gonna bring. You're not the only one with pictures with live motherfuckers, but this was actually my lady friend or whatever, But I'm just looking at my phone right here. You can't call her out her appearance, and you don't have anything better or comparable. Okay, So give me 1 second here. My point is this: is that she. Let's see. Can we see that?
I'm gonna put you on the solo view. Give me 1 moment.
Okay, so that's your boy and one of his exes. All right, hey Nate, what you think about that or whatever? And no, she's not white or whatever. All right, so let's stop that shit.
Okay, fair enough. So you qualify to talk about attractive women,
right? Okay, yeah, and I could show others, but no. You can pull it off of me. But my point is this. No doubt about it. She's an attractive woman. All right. I'm not one of those dudes who, if I don't like a chick, that I'm not going to be able to. Right. No doubt about it. She is an ugly, evil, vile individual as far as her character and her sentiments. And when I talk about this, like this interview, you will sporadically hear her get into masculine mode. And one thing I can't stand, and it's not because my man Nate is here, I can't stand women that listen. This one thing, if y'all together and y'all talking y'all shit, y'all in your living room, y'all just kicking it, whatever, But on a public interview, you talking about dick, pussy, and fuck. Oh my God, that is just so disgusting for women.
Masculine shit, man.
Right, man. I cannot stand hearing. I mean, real talk. Before you play this, do you mind if I read something? It's related. All right. Check this out. This brother who typed this comment, he'll be doing all the interviews at the Manosphere meetup. Okay, and he says, "This chick," you said this earlier. "This chick is a role model to a lot of women. I wasn't surprised. Her actions are visible in many westernized women and is becoming more visible as time progresses." Then his next comment is, this is the one that really I like. "I feel like this is a trick." Oh, no, I'm sorry. He says, 1 second. Hold on. I want to really get into this comment. No, because it really hits home. All right. He says, I don't get input or feedback from these women to access the proper assessment. I believe they get triggered too fast before getting to really learn about them. Also, a lot of these females, this is the main point, I'm sorry. Also, a lot of these females pose as feminine to get what they want, but are low-key ratchets and for the streets.
Double agents, bro.
Yeah, they all look like Brittany to me until I properly vet them honestly. Because I know what times we live in, and the majority is overtaking the minority in reference to modern or traditional. Now, this is coming from a brother who works on movie sets and stuff like that, and deals with models on a daily basis.
You know what you're talking about, yep.
Right? So, yeah, let's rock.
All right. So, yeah, I want to kind of accentuate this. Posture is crazy. So, I mean, one of the things that made me a great salesman is I'm always reading nonverbal cues. That's how I know if my words are manifesting somebody, if I need to turn them over to another salesman, even if they're lesser, quote unquote. I know that the person, who I'm talking to, is just not, they're not picking up what I'm putting down. So I look at the difference in the body language with her. So she's leaning from a standpoint of skepticism. She got the space, and as you go a little forward, you see her kind of how demonstrative she is with her. Let me see, did it go? You see how tight she is.
She's guarded.
She's not. She's basically looking to respond. She's very guarded, and it's interesting to see the juxtaposition. She has a very open frame. She's down to listen, and she has a very soft disposition, and that provides for different communication. So I want to let that be known as we go forward.
You gave Antisocial Socialite a shout out, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did, man. She shared the video.
Okay, yeah.
And look how her leg is up now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is just something that when you know a girl like you, she gets real comfortable like that. And
yeah, we're not
just again.
We're seeing you, Hoop. We're seeing you. We're seeing you, Hoop.
I'm sorry. Let me go back to the regular view. Sorry about that. Yeah, man. Shout out to Antisocial. I gave you a shout out earlier, sis. I appreciate you sharing the stream. But again, look at the difference between the posture between now and one with Kevin. A lot further off, a lot more guarded. She has her leg up, which means a girl who don't like you, she's not hiking her leg up in front of you because she don't want you to perceive anything as an invite to her little orbit or whatever. So I do want to say that as we go forward.
I gotta say this about KS. I know he's a lightning rod. This dude is a body language expert. I watched this. I watched this entire interview, man, and his whole disposition didn't generally change. Shit, he's literally breaking this shit down like an FBI agent, man. Yeah. It's pretty damn impressive.
That's what sounds like.
I mean, and shout out Miss Verdima. I see her in the chat. It's like you let them talk, and they will give you everything. But please, let's roll, man, because there's some interesting stuff that even came on earlier.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody on here. Selena, I'm gonna have the panel open in once we get through a little bit of this. But yeah, I appreciate you being here, sis. All right.
Yes. I was going to be done. Good question. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm gonna go there, I'm a really bad one. Because I feel like the reality is.
So before we I think he's gonna hang up with her own words, asking direct questions, and she's gonna sidestep them with her version of things. I love how you go straight to any good salesman knows what they say, you say it right back to them, exactly what they said. It's called shooting with their own bullets, basically.
It's high value, highly sought after men, and there was no financial gain. So I think if I was a smart sugar baby or gold digger, there would be at least something physical in front of me: a car, a condo, fat.
I was really bad at what I was doing early, so if you're gonna label me as that, show me where I was good at that. That's what she's saying, which is horse shit.
Right. Let me real quick. on you're running this from your computer, right?
Yeah.
Close down any other apps outside of the video.
I only got these two up.
Okay, all right. That's good because I'm thinking you have a memory thing because it's kind of lagging a bit. But go ahead. I'm here.
I got this Chromebook. I just bought a MacBook that's coming. Yeah, this Chromebook sucks, man. I just bought a MacBook, so it's on the way. So I got to roll with this shit for like a few more.
He's got to let us know, audience, that it was a MacBook. No, he's got to let us know it's a MacBook that he can fall like that.
I got two of them already, but them shits tend to kind of mess up a little bit. So I just bought a brand new one, just started. But I bought this during the pandemic when I first started doing StreamYard back when, not to brag on myself, but I was doing StreamYard back when nobody was doing StreamYard. So this was my vessel here because my other MacBook's tripping. I got a brand new one coming. So yeah, we'll leave it there.
No, we got you real quick. Are you going to go piece by piece, or you can? I mean, this thing is so entertaining. You could literally just go into any section.
I don't know if you know the earmarks. Let me know. I've not seen this at all.
I'll let you rock it. Then we can go, and we'll judge by the audience.
All right, here we go. And if you know, guys, if y'all know earmarks on this, I know people do that on Kevin Samuels' joint. Let me know, and then we'll skip to certain parts. But I'm just this is fresh, new, revelatory stuff right here, man. So let's rock.
Bag, shoes, something, money in my account. That never.
Fair use.
And maybe that's just where I'm foolish.
I mean, the first time I heard about you was the book.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this," because people had said, "Hey," and this whole ethos or this whole thing is like, first it was Karen Stephens and the tell-all book. Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, well, Karen Stephens."
Imagine getting compared to Superhead.
and not jumping in either. Like, hold on.
I ain't no damn Superhead.
That reminds me when we did a show one time, and I was talking about Eddie Winslow. We kept calling him Eddie Winslow because like he don't deserve his real name being mentioned.
That's facts. It's like Al Bundy, man. You Al Bundy forever. Ed O'Neill is his real name.
Right.
You're Urkel, bro. You're Urkel forever.
Go ahead.
All right.
Like, story, and I'm like, okay, well, like most consumers, I'm like, okay, whatever. And from what I understand, the book, you told stories, use different names, but all these people, celebrities, musicians.
Look at how she's still leaning in. The body language don't lie, man. That's crazy. She need to deal with an old dude. That's her lane right there. She'll listen to an old dude. Stop dating these dudes younger than you because you a ball of chaos.
And
even when she's snarky, she feels she's wrong. Now that's why I keep stopping. But when I watched the DJ Academics, she was ready to challenge him at every word he said. Every word he said, she was ready to jump back with a response. She's listening. Peep that shit.
Well, I guess that's another question.
So, Cody, what? Has any one of these been to you?
No. There's no supporting evidence. I think it's just public speculation. I like to call them fan theories. Very interesting. I mean, to be honest with you, my biggest thing is I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Where the fuck are you?
Exactly my point.
You heard what I said?
I think for me, it's just I built my home from the ground up, and as zero. Yes, because I started my Instagram account the summer of 2012. Why? Because at the time I was doing fitness, and I actually deleted my social media for the boy when I was.
And the board for talking about is Casey Theory, y'all. Former white quarterback at HBCU, Jackson State University, man. Shout out to Casey Theory, y'all. So that's what she's referencing right now. And fitness my ass. What they say, fitness you know what in your mouth is what you was doing. But go ahead.
So hold that thought.
All right, go ahead.
No, let me give some, because it was kind of playing back bad or whatever. So basically, she's saying here that here's how she got her start off in social media while she was out, when she was playing soccer. She thought she could, thought it up or whatever, and then it kind of blew up. I don't remember her soccer thing specifically, but I do remember it somewhat, and what Kevin is going to reply back with is that in the social media realm, fitness is the hardest one to really break through to become something. And then he talks about how he did the fragrance thing, but one of the top fitness guys now, he said one of the top fashion guys now, I can't remember his name, started off initially doing the fitness. So he's basically telling her that, she's in a very competitive realm and she actually broke through, with that. So that's kind of the context. You can let it play because this does go into something interesting where he basically talks about how basically how it's different. I don't like to call it the corporate world. I'll call it the real world, where people actually work for a living and aren't standing in front of, getting photos taken of them all day. I'm not saying that's not work. I'm sure all the models are going to get their pitchforks for me. But he's basically talking about how the entertainment and sports world are completely different from this sphere, And he goes on. It's very interesting. I can't remember the next point he segued to, but I really segued into, but I wanted to give that context for the audience that's listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Appreciate it.
So what was the first video that launched you? Back in 2007, fitness. Because I remember hearing something about some soccer thing. Did you get a lot of views?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, I would always, shoot the ball, but it would be like short shorts, ass out, and then I'll sometimes have some twerk in there.
All right.
People love it. I mean, if you guys didn't like it, like it.
So it was your point to start to get fitness over to be an IG model action.
I would say at the time it was fitness. And then I was in a situation because the guy I was dating at the time, I was living in his parents' basement. And I remember setting my iPad up, taking pictures of somebody, what would be considered kind of like icon pictures now, your body, whatever. And I just remember saying, like, people are going to know my name. Like, people are going to know my name. And probably a year after that, I did a video with World Star TV.
And in this video, she was showing her nipples basically in a blurred fashion. So yeah, so it was like a highlight video she did through World Star, and that's when she was a 100% irrefutable sex object. She's probably gonna gloss over that in her own way, but that's what she's talking about.
Remember, because you're still not in that world.
No, I've been on World Star. I'm like, how strange is that? Me on World Star, and I'm like on one of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that's kind of how
you went for World Star.
That was my goal. So
also too, peep how when Kev is ready to overtalk her, she shuts up. If you look in the DJ Academics, Academics cannot shut her up at all. Peep shit like this, man. Peep shit like this. When you deal with a woman and she's willing to overstep your words like that, she don't respect you like that. Don't deal with him. Go ahead, Tyson.
Yo, I agree. Let this play a little bit more, and it'll be some more. She's talking about her rise, like I said, into this, and again, I'm gonna keep going back into this. I blame you men for this. Males, pardon me. As the one classic poet says, and I quote, "These hoes be acting up. These hoes be acting up, and y'all niggas be letting them." So continue. Great classic poetry line.
When I first started out, like that is
y'all hit that like button, man.
Almost 100,000 plus followers.
Get more people here.
And 2 months after I got my first coaching. So I used to be a special needs caregiver for adults. So that was my full-time job before I stopped. Be an entrepreneur, is whatever.
Entrepreneur what?
Social media influencer.
Okay.
So this is something you went for. Because fitness, and for those who don't know, in social media, fitness is one of the most competitive, saturated verticals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Damn near impossible. In men's style, the largest guy is named Aaron Alpha. He started out as a gym rat. He started out on the gym. He branched over into men's fashion because it's just so hard.
Fair use.
I know that because outside of fitness, then you get into beauty and then fashion. These are hard things to break into. So typically, it's uncommon for people to start and then recognize that you're not going to get any bandwidth. I mean, believe it or not, something that fragrance you do. And I've touched on 5 years and nobody knows about me until I decided to start talking about what my clients talk about. Yeah. So, but the point is, you decided to go. So,
And can't be lying. And one thing I will say, with you breaking through on any level with social media based stuff, whether it's like you presenting a show with actual knowledge or you just showing your ass, whether you're showing your muscles, it is hard to break through, man. I'll put my channel on the docket as far as that, man. It took me a long time to get to 100 subscribers, man. It's hard. And so once you get to a point where people are receptive to your words, it is an accomplishment. Let me say that. So even in her thought world, what she's done is noteworthy of some type of praise. Now, when she goes into a molded culture, that's when I'm like, absolutely fucking not. What you got?
The thing is, look, I've been begged to do a YouTube channel for so long, and then since our brother, Little Big Nate, has like multiple strikes now, I may have to bail him out or whatever and start this channel myself or what have you. But let me say this real quick. I don't want to say the formula is simple, but we have more options nowadays than ever before, okay? You know, you have your Roku, your Fire Sticks, your video games, you know, your social media. So you're competing for a lot. I used to tell Nate this all the time when he would be getting bothered by sometime with the audience, and I get it. And I'm like, dude, the fact that you can maintain just this number is a testament to your skills, you know.
Absolutely.
Now tying this all into, I think we know this, and this is where some of the manosphere critics' points do have some credence, in that you just have to have a glimmer of a female there, whatever, you know, or a female in the presence, and cats will be more in tune to listen more to you, especially if you got something worthy of saying.
Facts.
You know, regardless of how factual it may be or not, you know, if it's got a pretty avatar, heck, no shout out. She's a friend of the channel and friend of us, whatever.
Just
but like, right, you know, you already knew where I was going, you know. But you look at Jessica X popularity, you know. I remember she was just a person in the audience, you know. So her being, listen, I hate this term, but I'm gonna call it. I hate this term. I gotta figure out a better word for it. But this pretty privilege, guys like looking at women. This is where I go at it with Obsidian about at times, but he is right about that. So she broke through, and she broke through also on World Star, which is ground zero for basically what is the word I want to say? Low IQ. Low IQ type content or whatever, but
no hanging fruit, bro.
Right. The average World Star viewer, yeah, I'm going there or whatever. I know that people the average, you remember in that movie Players Club, the dude who followed Diamond, and he was like,
Myron.
What'd you say?
His name is Myron.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. I spent all this money on you, and you act like I don't shit.
I've been following you home every night for all these years.
I always make sure you get home safe.
Right. That's how
that guy.
Right. That's how I see the average World Star guy, but only on a more wannabe thuggish type of deal or whatever, you know. So she broke that mold or what have you. So, you know, I get it. But let's rock on this one, man. Let's continue. Spend all this money on you.
Already had that $10 ready, man.
Absolutely. Be honest, I feel.
We gonna get honest either way.
Bro, I just cannot help to see, dog. When you are the select, look how women treat you. Retreated, open, laughing. Like she's never like came at him snarky once. If you watch the academics credit, he's kind of taking that RP, stance. And I actually agree with a lot that he said when he's been a pussy ass dude for most of his internet existence, in my opinion. But Ack has turned the corner. Kev is a dude who's well refined in who he is, and watch how a woman who is quote unquote chaotic, cantankerous, look how she deals in his presence, man.
I would say that there's a lot of privilege that comes with this. It's blind. Once you reach a certain level of status, really the world is your oyster. As far as like I've gotten girls simply just off my Instagram. Really been able to do different speaking engagements. I've been able to just like not have actually have to clock in since 2013. So I would say yes, because I don't really take direction that well. I feel like
hey, Don DeMarco, she telling you who she is. I take direction well.
Before that part,
choose to put your shaft. Hold on. If you choose to put your shaft inside her, she told you who she is. So if you want to have a relationship with her, she's not going to listen to you. She just said it. Go ahead.
Who the hell hired her for a goddamn speaking engagement?
To act. Okay, Brittany. Okay.
I mean, continue, man. But no, you're right about that. I don't take direction well. But this is what makes me vomit inside, in all seriousness. Actually, Antisocial always makes good comments. Let me read this first. KS fed Brittany to the wolves when her audience meets the manosphere content or no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that one. What I was going to say, though, is what makes me vomit inside, real talk, and I'm being dead serious, is that this woman's a mother now. It used to be back in the day, even as they used to say back in the day, the fast women, once they became a mother,
you would slow down.
They knew that they had to tone this shit down, because it's a bad example. But unfortunately, these are the type of mothers that be prancing around bra and panties around the house, with their 12 and 13 and 14-year-old, thinking that's appropriate for a little boy to be seeing and shit, And people don't want to really get into that because it speaks into their real lives,
Yeah. It gets too personal, and I had a talk with one of my frat brothers the other day, man. I was telling him, he's a younger brother, he's about 26, and I was like, bro, okay, take you and your mom out of this, and let's just evaluate it as such, like blah 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 blah. And then once I took it, the personal aspect, the personal top off this discussion, he's like, okay, I see what you mean. Because we do that, man. We hold on to shout out to Coach Greg Adams, Mama, I love you. And we never critique Mama properly. You know what I'm saying? Mama just get that clemency that in other cultures. I mean, sometimes in Hispanic culture, you see that as well. I'm not saying that's exclusive to Black culture, but we do it just at a high clip. Like Mama has no retribution for her what she's done. She has no recompense for what she's done. We just see her as the divine feminine, and she did no wrong, and whatever she said was gospel. And in reality, once you start to learn the nature of women, it's like women tell half truth all the freaking time. And so your mama ain't immune, homie. Your mama's not immune. I know that she's the greatest. She's Isis. She's Mother Goddess, CMOS gold, like Kevin Samuels says. But at the end of the day, she's a woman. I'm sorry.
Right.
A lot of people
how
don't
about
like
this?
Coach Greg Adams. I think Coach Greg Adams got a lot of good content over there. He just, he is how he is. But I do like watching some of his takes. Go ahead.
I haven't listened to him in a while. I like him. I can separate the message from the messenger, although I have no issues with with him either way. It was something I was just gonna say about. How about this? This is entertaining. I will say this. Just move up to the middle or what have you, because they're just talking about her meteoric rise in social media and how
Here.
About how, yeah, that's fine. About how she basically, here, let me summarize it up. She's the breadwinner of the family. She gets to move ahead of the line. She loves the privilege of being well known, gets blah, 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 right? And because she has this, she doesn't want to go back, or if she did have to go back to a real world, that will be a hell of a come down on, right? You know, crapping on more people who actually work again. So, you know, that's pretty much was the context of that, which tells you what, which tells you the alternate universe that she generally lives in.
Oh yeah, you damn right. And I always tell like brothers, like if you try to deal with a woman like this, she thinks she's better than you, and you're gonna have an uphill battle. In reality, it's not based on anything but her own machinations in her mind. So if you want to deal with this, because she got a fat ass and she got a pretty face, just understand what comes with this archetype of woman. Unless you somebody she respects, like Kevin Samuels, you're gonna have to prove to her every day why you're worthy of her attention and time in her mind. That's how she views you. So again, the academics in the Kevin Samuels juxtaposition, you definitely see how the results you get from a dude who is visibly accomplished, seasoned, understand what you're talking about, and with a dude who academics is a millionaire as well, but she sees academics as a little fat ass roly poly with a smart mouth, and she don't view you the same way, bro. She don't view you.
Very good point. The reality is this: I'm keeping it 100. The average dude is not going to even encounter a chick like this, you know.
Nice.
But that said, it doesn't mean that there aren't any lessons involved. And I'm trying to arrange a time for a happy hour right now. Hold on. You know that you can't learn. I want guys. How about this? Let's let this play, and maybe it'll be a good segue into another point. So, all right.
Book The End of Men and the Richer Sex. Second wave feminism talked about, you know, getting women out in the work world and being successful in this and being CEOs and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. But guess what? When a man becomes successful, he often has to marry down. Okay, so when a woman gets to that level,
just look, these darting her ass. She not at no point leans forward to challenge his position. Peep this shit, gentlemen. This is how it goes dating with women. So if a woman is always, a woman rather, is always willing to challenge you, jump, just abort shit, bro. You're not gonna win over. Abort shit. Peep game.
you often have to marry down as well. But most women get to that level, and hypergamy means you want a man at your level or higher, and you don't typically get men who are at that level or higher who don't have leadership characteristics.
Well, while the video is queuing,
Again, I'm moving.
I'll stop before you go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let it play now.
Athletics, entertainment, and musicians over here because the money comes differently. To get
Fair
the
use.
money and the gravitas and influence, you have to separate yourself. And you don't see many men who separate themselves whose wife in the vice president role is trying to do the State of the Union. Chris Rock said for the longest, we could never have a black president. Why? Because black women don't like being in the background. They want to be right up there in front. And that's why I'm like, if that's what you really want, are you really setting yourself up for? That's why I said, do you know what you really want?
Bro, I used to be a teacher. This looks like when you have a one-on-one with a student who's acting out and you just lace them down and they just listen to you. Think about how disagreeable this woman is. Look at her like a little girl in the office. Go ahead.
Yeah. As one point I forgot that's very important to cover is earlier on she talked about a family, or he asked about a family, or her, and when she says she really does want to be married, or she says he asked her something about marriage, and she says, yes, I do want a family. I want to wake up on Christmas I want to wake up on Christmas wearing matching sweaters with my son or whatever. And she reverted back to this repeatedly. Yeah, I want to wake up on Christmas with matching sweaters. If Antisocial Socialite is in the audience, I really would love to hear her chime in on this. But that is a very telling point, Hoop, because she didn't say she wants to sit down and teach her son the ABCs. She didn't say she wants to guide him through or guide her kids through their problems, or I just want to sit and nurse my son, those things that you really associate with a mother. Or she didn't even say something. I can't wait to travel with your go out shopping with him for his first day in school, which is still somewhat of a materialistic thing from when it comes from women like this. But nonetheless, at least she's somewhat thinking about this. She said she wants to take pictures of matching Christmas sweaters, which tells you everything about where she gets her validation from.
There you go. There you go.
And that is unreal in that when you have a kid, everything stops. And everything's about, that kid. I shouldn't say everything, but most, or should be in theory. You're trying to make this kid to be this is why I can't stand bad parents, because I'm not saying she's a bad parent up to this point. I'm just simply saying in general, you can correct all of your mistakes. You can see where your own parents were errant in what they did and then what was the correct. And you can guide a new individual with new wisdom. This is how civilization supposedly evolved. This broad is thinking about effing pictures. And I can see if you're talking about just taking pictures and put them in the photo album, you and I both know good and darn well that them photo albums your granny had don't exist no more.
Yeah,
they're talking about what they can post on social media. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
The standard of femininity or just personal respect ain't the same. So no, you can't.
Yeah, let this rock, because he's making a good point. I remember more things now.
Okay, let's get it.
You want to be in the foreground? Like typically ends up like this. Now I'm about 45 years old.
How is it any different than a man? Because
Now we get somewhere. Now she's the false equivalency that women who think like her, with no limits, no bounds, no gender roles. Now you get to the minutia of what she's built with, trying to compare herself to a man. I'm sure Kev gonna handle this accordingly.
and they're young. What is the difference?
Here's the difference. See, one thing I really dislike about our generation, I always do this one about is double standards.
Okay.
And you guys take advantage of double standards, just like you have to on both sides. The difference is a lot of come out of the situation. I like to still come out of a situation with men and one.
The woman doesn't desire kids. What's the issue?
That's it. She doesn't desire kids.
He break down basically saying that you dealing with a younger guy, he's still gonna want a kid out your old ass, and he's not gonna deal with your old ass. The reverse is me with my old ass, loins. I still can produce life, and it's different. And a lot of women who go with feminism as their lead, they're flummoxed with this principle. But this is very true and very prudent to understand when you shake out the difference between men and women.
Young man. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of the family? Is to move the line, right?
But can't you still move the pieces forward if you're having that male figure there? That still would be.
So this is a disconnect. She thinks moving just in a analogous way, a way that has no structure, amoeba style. She thinks that's the same thing as passing down legacy from a man, and that's where her archetype, they're going to always struggle with this, even though they can't cite a situation where they can even reference this to be so. However, it's been sold to them that I can move like a man. It's the same thing. When we look at it from a tangibility standpoint, it's not even close. So this is where this archetype misses this concept because they're trying to move like a man, but your last name does not move like a man. So you got to easily understand that it's not the same.
Family unit. Stepdad, like even with.
No. If you have a child, yes, if he has a child.
Okay.
So how do you? So if you. This is what's starting to happen right now. You're starting to see a lot of women in their 40s.
And he cutting her ass up, and I'm going to say this because I want to explain to what's going on. Even right now, she's fuming. She does not like this shit at all, but she respects him as a man. So she's still resting in her feminine when she is not feeling nothing he's talking about right now. Y'all peep this shit. And peep how with academics when he said things counter to what she agreed with, how she approached it. Build yourself up, man, because when you are like that, people in general will not challenge you in the same way, even though they don't necessarily agree with what you're saying.
Because they have more means to advice on what you go to get younger guys. And is there anything wrong with it? No, you just accept what comes along with it. Accept what comes along with it. But one of the things is, no matter what I think, you think nature looks at it and says, well, this isn't the way nature has it set up. Nature wants us to populate. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing, it's very rare that you have 20-something-year-old men and 40-year-old women having multiple children. Mm-hmm. So even if she has needs and he has needs, once the line ends right there.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
It's logical. And here's the thing, this is what I say.
She still ain't. Again, look at the active view. Anytime he made a point, she was coming with the venom, with the high contention. When Kev laces down her shit because she respects him, that's fair. That's logical. When does Brittany Renner deal with logic? Let's be honest here. When have you ever seen her in I guess in a 1 year frame with her speaking logically? She's emotional. I feel people do this to me because I do that. It's all reactionary. Now she understands logic because she respects the person. Go ahead.
I need to get like a Scrabble board or some kind of sound effect. It's I feel and my truth. You forgot also.
Yeah. That's cool.
And by
your
the way,
truth can exist right between your two lobes. That's fine. But
yeah, she says that. There's one thing just to recap on what we skip past. He says, so what do you want to do? She says, well, I feel I have I feel, right? She said, I feel I have a lot of information to give to women and I'm, the podcasting. He says, like, give an example. Well, I like really, really Wendy Williams or whatever. And I'm like, I just put that, like face palm, like, oh God. So these are your archetypes who you're looking towards. And again, this woman is a mother, you all.
Come on. And you know what? I said that on mediocre tutorials and reviews. He had a post about this, and I was like, the scary part of this is the mother of a black boy. That's the scary part of all this shit. And with the COJ, disciples of COJ, as I call us, they talk about, he talks about women like this who lead with that mother goddess archetype, and it's just about me and my young king, my young prince, and all that shit. And they always take pictures with just their son because they basically, in a roundabout fashion, they view it as their little what they call it, pseudo boyfriend is what their kid becomes. So basically, they can, once he becomes of age to be able to speak and to do whatever, it's going to kind of take away the reality of you being out of the dating pool, as it were. I mean, you can go get dick, but you can't go get, necessarily a upstanding partner. And that's what this archetype of female tends to do with their male child. And so it's interesting to watch this, in real time. I will say that.
Say that for all women, I don't whatever you want, just accept the outcomes and the possibilities. Because it's women that are, you get to make all the choices. But life for men is about choices and trade-offs, and life for women is about choices and trade-offs. But in my personal opinion, this decision made it fear, scarcity, and lack to be wrong decisions because they tend to reside in anxiety and stress. There's no peace there. There's no
Anxiety and stress. That's fact.
It doesn't tend to lead to the ideal. Again, you're talking about matching pajamas in the family. There's family, but there's
so and then what Kev just broke down to her is what I say to a lot of women who ask me this question. Because most people know I'm red pilled or whatever, and it's off-putting to a lot of women, especially I'm 37 years old, so dealing with women my age. I try to tell them that like the game has changed. Like, so whatever you were benefiting from since about 14, 15, 16, you're losing it. And at 35, you don't have a lot of leverage anymore. I mean, it is what it is. So it just shows the mentality. If even like the most trash, sexual, highly sexual woman, she still wants a white picket fence, 2.5 kids and shit. She still ideally wants that. She just has no clue how to go about doing it. So her task in her mind is to just go do things her way, and she thinks just things are just going to morph into what she wants. Reality is no. You get left as a baby. You get left as an eternal baby mother, and you got about 10 more years of this shit. Because when you get 40, you're done. You're done, man. So I mean, 10 years is a long time. She's only 30, but it's unfortunate to watch this play out because you think you can outman men, and that just does not exist. Go ahead.
Not only can you not men, you're not built for this.
Not built for it.
We are generally built for rejection, getting stepped on, and these things, and being able to bounce back from things. Okay. It was something you mentioned earlier about, you were basically talking about, kind of lost my train of thought here. You were basically talking about, I can't remember now the point, but I was going to say about just being built for this and being equipped. Oh, when she was talking about how she, darn it, again, I just lost my train of thought again for the second time. But, no, I know, I got it now. I got it. When you were talking about how your girl was reading the comments on one of the on one of the things in the book, in Sister Soldier's book that she was a model for, and she zoned into that one thing. What my point was, do you really think this, under the veneer, under the filters, under all the makeup and all this, that this woman is genuinely happy? I bet the farm.
No.
Right. I bet the farm that she's on some kind of prescription drug, that she's on some kind of prescription drug. She uses weed, marijuana, or what have you. Well, damn near who does it nowadays? But, or God forbid she probably takes, God forbid if I found out she took Molly or ecstasy pills, The point I'm making is that when these people are so into their emotions, and again, back to that dopamine, they need these other things to calm them down. And she's already proven that she is about that social media life. And she's not equipped to deal with things, like a man. And to be honest with you, I don't want women in a civilized culture to deal with men shit per se, because it takes them out of their inner feminine.
Agreed.
But so you think you're gonna do this? Please. I remember this reminds me of a story one time. It was some chick who I just knew could not stand me, right? Could not stand because I can logically break down most points, just could not freaking stand me. And she crossed the line by going personal. And my thing is, once you go personal, I'm going to go back personal on you. You want to be treated like a man? I'm going to treat you like a man. I said something. And man, after the whole thing, I didn't think the chick really cared for me in any way, was so shape or form. It's like, man, can you please say you sorry to her? And I'm like, F that hoe. You know? like, what? And it was people sending me emails or whatever. Can you please just say you're sorry, man? She just went ballistic and was just crying. And I'm like, but I'm not. I'm not. Did y'all? Oh, wait a minute. So I'm supposed to just take what she said on the chin like a man, but right? You know?
Yeah.
We eventually talked about it. I didn't necessarily apologize, but it was like, you know, what it told me was that she did have some real mutual respect to what, you know, she is one of them little wannabe feminists. This is long before the YouTube. Like I said, I got a medal for these type of things, but I'm just using it as an example that despite that tough exterior, you know, they don't want to be men, or unless they want to look like Stacey Abrams, you know, but let's continue.
That's real shit. That's real shit.
Well, one of the things I've learned in therapy is, you know, I have to be happy with myself. And I believe that a lot of times when I go into relationships, I thought it was about, you know, self-sacrifice and putting my needs and wants and desires on that burner. And the reality is that, I mean, it is not a financial plan, and I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet if I want to be taken seriously by the guy at Best Buy or the guy in corporate America or whatever. So for me, it's not that I'm, oh my gosh, I'm building an empire out of here. That's a crumble. I am doing what I want to do, and I think from fitness to doing a podcast, I care about helping people be honest with themselves, with your truth, and like you said, accept whatever comes.
Second, women who say this living your truth shit, dog, run away. Run away. That is translation for living chaotic and not regretting your horrible decisions. That's what that shit means.
So you want to be the free spirit for the nipple? You can do that, but you have to be intentional and just accept whatever comes with it.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Your whole celebrity is based on you being sexually liberal and you being the quote unquote bad girl. But you got problems with people when they come at your ass for that. So it's funny how you have all of a sudden this clarity that to own up to your shit when you are the worst. Oh my God. The worst. They have to apologize for doing nothing wrong. Exactly. Antisocial. Exactly. You are the worst person to convey this message because you are literally, your whole brand is built off you throwing rocks and hiding your hands. You don't get smoke that your lifestyle creates. Fuck out of here. Come on, man. You really want now, I don't know if it's changed since PJ said it, but you're not wanting him to see his kids. Get out of here. You're a master manipulator, man. Guys, beware these kind of women, man.
So I'm going to be honest. I feel like I'm
fair use.
I have no idea where it ends. I didn't even know. If you told me 10 years ago, I'd be sitting on this couch with you, thinking all my favorite people.
Stop the cap. 10 years ago, you didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. Stop the cap.
I didn't even know I could have a 10-year run. I didn't know I could make a career out of being beautiful, having nice.
Stop the cap. Brittany was getting paid. I met her in 2014, as I showed you on that picture earlier. Took a picture with her. She's been getting internet notoriety for the upwards of about 7 years now. Stop the cap, man. God damn.
Nice body.
Well, you know what this does? So when humans do this, it's their way to be more amenable to another human. So you're basically showing humility. In her mind, that's what she's doing. But in reality, you can poke through this shit like you're lying. You're giving a bullshit recap of your life, and it's not accurate at all. Go ahead, Tyson. I
mean, you're saying it all. I want you to more rock on this So let's go ahead. You're pretty much saying it all. I don't want to go off on tangent because she really opens up here. And again, for those who joined late, I wasn't really familiar with this chick, and it's not. Listen, I'm not saying I'm better because I don't like to follow this stuff, but I don't know. Maybe because I'm older. Also, it just blows me away that it used to be a time. Yeah, here's an old man story. And I talked with this about my brother, who's even older than me, but he looks whatever on this. To be on TV back in the day, you really had to have some talent because there weren't many networks, available. It was either that nationally or your various local things. And it blows me away now, just flash forward, that you can pretty much be a do nothing and have eyeballs on the screen that you'll be paid to endorse products or have purposeful product placement, there. I'm positive that KS, for example, has some kind of Red Bull endorsement. I'm positive.
Strategic placement all the time.
Exactly, man. It's but that a chick like this can earn massive amounts, can be in certain circles, and you come at naive guys. And let me be clear, I'm not giving PJ no pass. Any guy that gets hemmed up nowadays, they deserve it, But,
absolutely.
Right. But just listening to the cap here, it's like she's right, big spell one, she's acting naive. But let's let this rock.
Well, the reason why she's doing that is because the world allows women that space. So, like, if you act just a little bit contrite, dudes will give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, all right, well, man, ease up on her, man. She a woman, ease up on her. She knows that. That's the manipulation a lot of women they basically navigate in. So a lot of us just kind of because our nature is we don't dogpile on women, not like that. Not unless they just go on scorched earth. But if they recess back, our natural reaction is, all right, don't let sis make it. Don't let her make it. She ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth the direct combat unless she coming with that masculine energy, which we react to masculine energy with masculine shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny to see that kind of permeate over this.
Opening my mouth, ultimately. So I don't know where this ride ends. I feel like I'm stuck in Disney World.
I don't know where this ride ends. I feel like I'm stuck in Disney World. This is poignant shit.
You got to let this play.
All right. Go ahead.
I don't know how to get out. I don't know where to go. But all I know is what do I like to do? I like to talk. I like to help people. I'm outspoken. I know that me speaking, there is a message in my mess. I could not be able to help people. I don't know why. I feel like I'm being burned at the stake.
Oh my God.
Present day. But I have to accept what
Look
comes
at Kev. Kev, no.
Me playing the background,
Look at Kev.
playing small, me not using my writing abilities to write a book, to speak. Because I do this. There's not a lot of beautiful women in my position with my platform that can sit here and do this. There's not a lot of women that would have the courage to sit here and do this.
Oh my God. Stop. Look how Kev is not moved by none of her words.
Stop. Let me say.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Let me cook.
Go ahead, bro.
Kev is much more patient than I would ever be. Now let's recap here. Shout out again to Miss Antisocial Socialite. Let's recap here. She doesn't know where this ride's in. Right now, she's on Disney World. Then she wants to advise women. Then she wants to do this. I'm like, shut up! Stick on one topic, you fuck! Dude.
It's like that.
I was like, just shut the fuck up for once in your rambling, babbling ass fucking life. Yes. Dude, I'm reliving this. I didn't know if there was this spot here, man. But God, let me say this. Maybe this is my personal frustration. I interviewed 3 guys this week, right? One guy was excellent, man. Young guy, man. Unfortunately, he didn't take the offer. Another guy, half hour before the interview, said, "Screw you all. I'm taking another offer." Third guy, dude had a master's in she is deep in her own mind. Man, Big Spell one. This ties into my interview that I'm talking about. I asked this guy, okay, and I framed the question for him. Give me the problem. What was the problem? What was the solution? What did you do to either implement the solution or assist those who implemented the solutions? Basically, go. Man, I went from this side of the earth to the other side in his explanation, just like her. And for the record, sir, and get ready to hit play, she's still talking. Play, please. No.
It's so funny to watch because this is a old world ideology of Theli Ma, do as thou wilt. This is order from chaos. She is adherent to that principle. Meaning you can't tether yourself to nothing tangible. She said it. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where this train ride ends, but I feel like my message is strong enough to help people. So you're basically saying you're gonna help people into chaos. And that is bullshit, to quote MTR, man. Bullshit. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not, it's not, I didn't want to shit on her. She's just not nobody to be taken serious. She is nobody to be taken serious except having a fat ass to be with that body she has. And that's where you should leave it. Yep. Man, hey, leave it where she at. This is the same woman who Tiana Trump is her godmother. If y'all know who Tiana Trump is, she does the prawn. She's really good at her job. And that is her son's godmother.
I don't
know who we dealing with here.
Who is Tiana Trump again?
Tiana Trump. If you go on the hubs of prawn, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that. I like how you describe that. Okay.
Yeah,
that's the godparent. Wow.
That's the godparent of her kid. This is who we listening to right here. Keep this shit in context because these kind of women know how to daintify when they know the profile matches the situation. She know Kel. She can't get over talking him. You know, he gonna shut that shit down. She knows that. She's smart enough. She's a college educated woman. So even in her horse shit, she knows the limits to stop at. So again, best friends with a prawn star. Best friends, her son, her new black seed is gonna have the advisement of a prawn star.
Right.
Take that in. Take that
play. In. Just hit play. And by the way, shows you the value of a college degree. Continue.
I got 3 of them, and I always say all the time, they don't mean shit. I was smart before I got all 3 of them degrees. Right. I was smart already. So I don't shit on people who don't have a degree because you can be an autodidact, means you teach yourself. You can just be a naturally smart person like Beethoven was, like Edgar Allan Poe were. They were autodidacts. They didn't learn from the college system, which we can go deep on how the college system is developed, but we'll leave that where it's at. But it's funny how people put so much merit in a system that does not guarantee you wisdom. It just says you can remember curriculum. Let me move forward.
So I don't know why I have this strength, where it came from, what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. I wish I had that answer for you. And I don't know where it's going to take me. I just have to follow my heart.
If you still follow this chick and she admitted that basically meaning I have no clue what I'm doing. It just feels certain ways at certain times.
No, that's exactly
out of your mind while following this woman, man. Go ahead.
Continue. No. Just let this play, man. Because like I said, this is.
I looked at somebody who talks to it. Most people don't see is when I'm not on YouTube, I do an average of 3 sessions a day with people around the world. And yes, in the short term, everything you're saying is right. But ultimately, we don't sit down and we don't ask ourselves long term, what do we want? How does that look? And we wonder why we don't end up getting where we want to. I just don't think women standing alone is helping anything in the West. Societies are crumbling, right? Because Marital rates are dropping. Birth rates are dropping. Singleness is on the rise. And what you don't hear is you don't hear a lot of happiness. And what you tend to hear is, well, I got to do what I got to do. From the woman's side, I got to do what I got to do from the man's side. All right, cool. The difference for women and men is life starts making choices for you guys. Choices for us. You at 29?
Yep.
29?
The danger zone.
Right. So, I mean,
which means she really listens to his content. She know what it is. She listens to his content.
If you wanted more kids,
fair use.
Probably realistically 2. I mean, at this point, another thing I have to accept is if I'm not with my child's father and I get with a man who wants kids with me, that's something I should be open-minded to, because it's like, you're going to take care of my son, my son, but then you don't want to have kids with me.
So what it seems like is Kevin is level setting her to basically let her know where she is in life, because she lives an inflated sense of self. So when you level set someone, it seems like she's receptive to it because she already know the spiel. So this is good for her to hear from somebody she respects. She hears from trolls in her mind all day, but from somebody she respects, it hits different.
Where is the trade-off? So I think realistically, yeah, I would at least want 1 to 2 children.
This is why
Stevie wanted that clear vision.
intentional dating and
Stop.
Go ahead.
You gotta take a deep breath when I say this. No, I'm serious, man. So she just said she wants 2 more children, right? Mm-hmm. This is the absolute. Okay, this is exactly what's wrong with the world nowadays. Sweetheart, you have a son right now with a man who allegedly wants to be involved in that son's life. You're already thinking about the next adventure, creating more of these messed up families that we have, in place. And you're not, I was criticized for talking about returning to traditionalism, where the kids all have the same last names, where there's not a bunch of stepbrothers, stepsisters, this like that, And I was basically ridiculed, basically saying that's old fashioned. And my point is that this chick is clearly off her rocker right now. Then you're right. Maybe one of these old school guys, hell, somebody my age, could get her in line. Now, but what are they getting in return? They're getting a wayward-minded female who's already planning for 2 other kids. So as if we need more bastard children.
Exactly.
Okay? And I mean, and again, this is the mentality that is out there. But then these are the same people, God forbid. So when she's 40 and she's 10 years old, I can guarantee she'll still be thotting around. And it's like, who your mother is, or I don't know how things will be in 2020 or 2031. But
damn, that shit sound weird even saying.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's just as mind-blowing how they just see family as this some assembly required type of thing. Some assembly? No. It requires focus and all this, but hey, what do I know? I'm just, oh my God, I said Farhad. Anyways, go ahead and let it play.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give it about like 10 or so minutes, and then we can wrap this. But yeah, man, this is just great. I love the dynamic of what's going on right now, because people really give celebrities, so quote unquote celebrities, to your point, so much credit. And like, if you really break down what they're about, they're nobody to be listened to. Nobody to be listened to. But let's keep going.
All this stuff becomes complicated, and I've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
And I just can't help to point out, look how feminine she is, even when she comes on this diatribe, because normally when she does this, she's very demonstrative, she's very aggressive. When she goes in her little what they call it, little manifesto, personal manifesto, when the little diatribe, she's very demonstrative. She's still respecting his space throughout this whole shit. Y'all peep that.
I guess, especially in our community, it's what are we going to look like as a community in 50 years? Because black women, you're divorcing at twice the rate you marry. And the marital rate in the black community is 30% and teetering. And when the baby boomers are gone, and it's like we all tend to be sure about what it is for us. But at what point do we have responsibility to anybody else other than ourselves? Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Before we go, I want to say shout out to my boy Flight Sports TV, man. Flight in the building. Appreciate you coming through, homie.
Well,
I'm asking you.
Well, I can probably speak for everyone who's going to be watching this. I don't really think anyone gives a damn about what everyone else has going on as a society. What does this look like? I think that's just me being honest.
If that's the case, then we should stop talking about all this community-ness and Black Lives Matter. And we should just
look how she's so easily to be interrupted. She was going to her little bullshit ass diatribe about nothing. Kev start talking, she shuts up. I'm telling you, man, peep these women out, man. If your woman don't revere you as such, leave her alone. You are in an uphill battle to nowhere. Peep game. You got anything, Tyson?
She said one thing right, and this is why I say you need to stay away from these short-sighted minded women. I mean, they're not even worth sticking your member in them. And listen, by the way, I'm not one of these community guys in a sense. I take things on a case-by-case basis. But as she said, basically, she ain't thinking about all that bullshit you talking about. You know, she's thinking about the here and now. And what directly benefits her and will benefit her. They're not thinking long term. And that's what she's basically reiterating there when he was like, well, then, okay, I don't want to. And what Kevin was basically saying was, I don't want to hear about this whole Black Lives Matter, save the whales. We need more mentors and all that other crap that many of them say on social media. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this. I think men, if they don't know a woman or they don't have a relationship with them, like, where they're cool to this, avoid these women on social media. Now, I know that's a tough ask of men, but avoid what they say because their rhetoric is nonsense. She even mentioned in this interview that she used to be one of those people putting out all this rhetoric against men on social media, even though she knew consciously it was the type of men that she chose or that she chose to deal with. I hate even giving these people the type of time and commentary, but I did want to just hop on this one, because it speaks volumes because, as the young man said, a lot of people look at this person as a role model or something that they should try to mimic. And it's ridiculous. Why would you want to mimic this particular person? But I digress at this point.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, because the reality is, these people are at the vanguard of our culture, like celebrities, pseudo celebrities, as it were. So they have the same cachet or the same influence that a mentor would have normally, or a teacher, or a elder. People like Bundle Brittany are just as important to a lot of women. Why? Because most of the stuff they intake are based off social media. They're based off. They're based off. I mean, just easily accessible handheld entities, which obviously YouTube is, obviously Instagram is. So that's a role model to them. So she's in a space where, with her lack of prudence, her lack of knowledge, her lack of scope, she still can have cachet because you know, when you actually lay this down, she ain't got much to say. Like, and when you just kind of disarm that turned upness, like she do the academics, well, I still think he did a good job considering. But when she dealing with a professional like Kevin, she can't come with that bullshit because Kev, like, I done dealt with many girls that look like you. So it's different from when you look down on the dude and when you don't. And so now you're seeing what this archetype of female really has inside her, which is not much of anything. It's chaotic shit that she hopes that goes the right way. And that's pretty much her stance. And I think that, I mean, I'm not surprised by it, but that's just what the modern woman, with her type of mentality, that's how they think. She's been honest. And I appreciate honesty, even if I agree with it or not. I always appreciate honesty, man.
Yep. Look.
Yep. So I'll let it roll a little bit. Celine, I'm probably not gonna do the panel because I'm ready to eat. I ain't gonna lie. It's 2:00 over here, Cali time. I ain't ate shit today. I'm about to eat this food, man. I'm hungry as hell. So I'm gonna let this play a little bit. We're gonna do it. I got you. Next live I do, Celine, I got you. I'm gonna let you on the panel, but let's proceed forward.
And just get with whoever we get with and do what we do.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening. I think people just like to fake the funk for social media. But, I mean, the reality is if there was true unity, we wouldn't have to
what do you think
rally.
Do you think that comes from men's side?
With what? With rallying or what?
No, just faking the funk, doing what you want to do. Do you think women want to be married and have children, have a community, more than men want to be married, have children, have a community?
As a woman and as a woman of a friend of women, I can tell you the women are not talking about. I mean, it's like we all want it, but it feels like the men, they might want marriage, but a lot of the same stories is, I get with a guy, I can see he's the one, I want a family with him, but he's a cheater. And that's how a lot of, like I said, personally speaking, I'm not speaking for all the women watching, or men, but I know relationships end for other reasons, but a lot of my friends have been cheated on, and it's almost like your hand is forced to either then accept it or move on. And to be honest with you, I am not going to sit here and act like I'm okay with putting my integrity, my self-respect on the line to be married.
Before Kev go, I'm sorry. This is something I've heard a lot from women my age. They think like the concept of monogamy is so crazy as far as how it pertains to how this world operates. And a lot of women who are getting more age, what I've observed is they won't even try to be a submissive, agreeable woman because all a dude's gonna cheat anyway. So she is echoing something. Y'all peep game. She's only 29, about to be 30. She's gonna double down on this premise because dudes are gonna start. She's gonna get pumped and dumped more and more and more, and she's gonna really be at the vanguard of that movement. Just watch, because a lot of women her age and older, that's how they think. That's how they think. And so it's interesting she brings that up because I know a lot of women her age, a little or just slightly older. It's all about, well, it's no point in me trying to be a desirable woman because dude's gonna cheat anyway. Keep that. Now go ahead.
No, you pretty much summed it up right there. It's kind of like I was told earlier today about there was a picture. There was not a picture. There's I don't want to call it a meme, but it was multiple pictures of couples, and basically all the women were plus size, right? Mm-hmm. And most of the guys in these pictures were either normal size, right? And I said, clearly you can see it's an agenda, whatever, with this. And it was those typical, stage, phony looking happy couple pictures, right? Can you hear me? Yeah. So the point I'm getting at is that, and I basically talked about like how your weight is something that's controllable. And then this person basically said, And I said, wait a minute, you know, I went into my background, you know, training and all that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she said, some people just can't help for being what they are or fat. And I said, no, some people don't want to work towards it, you know, and they just completely scoffed at my idea. Basically, they were relegated to what things are versus what things can become. And it's the same situation what you just described. It's easier for them to just say, well, all the people that we're attracted to cheat. You know what I'm saying? Versus what can I do to attract the type of, you know, men that I would want? You know what I'm saying? So, hold on.
You put yourself out of contention by acting like the pool is too stringent. And I put it this way in a sports reference. It's like dudes, we went to a tournament with all these good ass teams. Oh well, everybody team stacked, man. We should, man, this is bullshit. No. Fair enough, everybody stacked, but we got what we got. Let's go out there and see how it shake out. And you'll know real quick who you want to be in the foxhole with based on their ideology of what they presume is fair or what have you. And it just shows you again, you don't deal with a woman on this level, man. I don't care how fine she is. I mean, you may hit her and move around, but you don't put time in to actually get to bond with a woman like this because she doesn't even have a personal plan. She don't even know where she's going. She goes off of her whims. She goes off of her machinations. She doesn't go off anything that is tangible to straightforwardness. So why would you deal with her?
Bingo, bingo, bingo. And you know, and that's it. I mean, you're going real deep on an esoteric level for many people that they don't understand what that is. But that just goes back to my original point about how the reason why the climate is the way it is many women are acting out within something that isn't innate in them. And that changes your features, your attitudes, and a lot of other things. Many people may, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, that candy bar looks great and tantalizing and all this, along with that nice fresh pop or soda pop, as some of you call it, you know, pop. But try eating that shit every day and look what happened. Tell me what your dentist is going to say. Tell me what your belly's going to look like. You get what I'm getting at? You know, they're still too focused on this surface, these surface things, and they're not looking at what's tangible long term. And it's why many of them are so out of alignment, you know.
Thanks.
But hey, we're just a bunch of idealists or whatever, or lames, you know.
Red pill, man, misogynist.
Yeah, we lames. You can't get no hoes, or man, that's just them. You got to take it for what it is and all that other nonsense. So
it is what it is. I mean, it's like it's just a certain amount of thing that you can't overcome, which is people who try to, you know, basically when you say something that they don't like, it's ad hominem. It's coming at your character, coming at you as a person to basically disarm your message. And I just, you know, amongst the ilk of men is like, nah, you can't do that because I'm used to dealing with women. I'm used to dealing with, you know, having options. So you can't do that to me. I understand why some cats on here, like, you know how I go. It gets goofy. Some dudes really just don't have that type of. They speak things from a standpoint of being very speculative, but actually putting forward, you know, saying showing what you can get. They can't necessarily do that. It is what it is. But some of us who can is like, okay, now let's go ahead and eliminate that bullshit excuse. Let's get to some real shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of the problem. I say this, men don't want to submit their power, and many just can't walk. Let me rephrase this. For men to really win at this, they're going to have to walk away from this, or say no, or say, I'm not taking this. But how many dudes get the chance, you know, to sit up with a woman that looks like this? Mm-hmm. They're just as right. They're just in awe of her as she may be of their resource. Maybe she's not in awe of their resources. She's attacking. I'm gonna tell you this: one thing you got to give women, they know how to adapt and survive. and be that chameleon or what have you, you know?
Absolutely.
So
you ain't lying one iota, dog. And it's just, it is what it is, man. And I show people too, man. The woman I'm with, attractive woman, man. Like, so I'm speaking off some shit I know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
And in this space, niggas will play you all kind of ways. Like, oh, you just don't learn. You're an old head. Stop playing, man.
Right.
Stop playing. And my girl's 5 years younger than me, man. So it's so what Kevin tells you about age gap dating, that's normal. Like, if you got your shit on, if you're an upstanding dude, you can have what you want. For the most part. Now, you can't have everything you want. And that doesn't exist. But people just act like, you know, they don't understand how the power balance shifts, the dating market shifts, and what have you. So let's do like 2 more minutes. Let's wrap, and then I'm about to eat. I'm hungry shit.
No, I understand. Yeah, go ahead. Let it play. Let it play.
All right.
That has been the prevailing trope for a while. It has been, but you have 54% of black men who are single and childless. 16% and 30% of black men are married. So 84% of black men are responsible for 20% of children. 16% of black men, the remainder is responsible for the 80%. When women talk about men who are cheating on them, women are choosing to date and mate with the top 20% of men. Now, I hate complaining because I'm in that group. But the way women speak about men is that this 20% or smaller is the entire group of men. When you're not giving any of these other guys a second look. How is it that men who have children with one woman end up having children with two, and you got 54% of men over here single and childless and 61% in the middle class? It's not the men who don't want relationships or marriage. It's women want relationships with a small group of men. And there's a case that can be made that women are trying to force the man onto a marketplace where kind of saying, why do I need to get married when I can have you? You can say what you want to about cheating, whatever. There'll be another one tomorrow. This is the demand this is
fair use.
Go ahead. Bye. Well, but
I got to point out again, even when she wants to be crass, look how she's doing it to herself. She's not interrupting this nigga. She's not leaning into him like she did with academics. Peep game.
How does this end for women? When you end up, it sounds good to say bye, but when you end up,
yeah, there you go, Ken.
when you push the man to the tippy top, okay, you end up having a generation of unmarried, unattached women. To now, women are starting to single mothers. There was a story about 3 single mothers marrying each other. Sorry. Moving out of our home and raising the kids together. I guess. This is how
you laughing, but that's your future. You laughing, but you angling towards that. Go ahead, Tyson.
No, let's let it play, and then we can close out.
In Korea, Japan, here's the net. We don't push relationships. We push, especially in the black community. We push business and entrepreneurialism and degrees and careers to our women in their prime years. When you ask the average black woman, hey, by getting married at 24, like, I'm too young for marriage. Mm-hmm. Really? No. So by the time it starts getting real,
you ain't too young to get your club shot up, though.
It's like, well, you're older, you're more experienced, you make more money, and naturally, it's like, well, the men you want men to have at least stuff on your level. And if we don't start being honest and talking about, many of our women say they want marriage, or want marriage and kids and family, but they don't move like that with the majority of men. They don't move like, and black men are any. So it's not like in this case, black women are marrying any group of men. It's just so many black women are just single. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the world doesn't work that way. You can't be a single woman with a child. And unless you're in the top 10% of all earning women, that's a formula that doesn't work.
But wasn't your mom a single mom? Then she never married, correct?
She married at 50.
Much different time. My mother grew up in a time where Social Security is in effect.
Let me stop here. Let's stop here.
Go for it,
I'm gonna
Tyson.
have to bail, but I want to really close out on this. So what she really tried to do was try to throw a somewhat slick, flippant comment, and this just shows you the lack of perspective that these people had. And what he's breaking down is like, listen, during that time frame, it was much different. And he said she also suffered from it because there were plenty more suitors that she could have married, during that time. And also the women of that time. He doesn't say this, but I'm going to say this. It was an anomaly. So if I'm 49 and I think he's 52 or 53, so we're somewhat of the same generation. So my point is that just wanting to be a single mother, that was not a good look back in the days, okay? And
Public shame. Yep.
Right. And if anything, you're trying to work against being this, where she's trying to say, but it was one of those, but you do it too, that type of little thing. Unfortunately, and I'm going to end on this note because I have the hour to go to. Unfortunately, darn it, I was going to segue into something unfortunately, because we still have a very vast and large and active simp nation out here, and she will probably never have to not worry about not landing on her feet.
Yeah.
You have a good one. I would love to give a part and outro, but I got to bail. I didn't realize it got past 5:15 here.
Oh, yeah. Do your thing, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate you all the way, Tyson, man. Peace out, bro. All right. Yes. So, shout out that I'm a little bit behind, but a lot of these women aren't getting cheated on because they're in situationship. Exactly. So it's cheating, but it's not based off stability to begin with. And so that becomes their understanding of what's going on is because it's based on a low level of commitment. And that's just unfortunately the level that they're delving into. As Lean says, women are unhappy because they base their worth off of external instead of internal. Do you mean internal? But yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, and we live in society where people try to compete with the next man, try to compete with the Joneses. And reality is a lot of women, you just not built how men are built as far as from a screw standpoint, as far as from a evaluation standpoint, you're just not built the same way, and that's okay. Like we are meant to be on this planet for different reasons. Women like Brittany Renner try to fake masculine things, but then when it gets too hot, she bails from it and talks about how everybody's being judgmental. But like, no, that's just how it goes. You are staunching your opinion, you're staunching your lifestyle, somebody gonna say something about it. That's just how the world works. I'll get to the last few comments. Appreciate everybody, man. Hit the like button on the way out, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Real talk. I'm in behind, but I want to get you. Okay, I already got it. Brittany and Cole are dealing with low quality ballers. There you go. Affluent pookies. There you go. you swung for the fences. You hit that home on that one. That's just what it is. And it seems like to me that she can't discern the difference between the pookie and the affluent pookie. She deals on the pookie level. People deal with her, she got fat ass because she got a nice looking face. Most prudent men stand like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But for me to put my time and energy, like, what else is there to this experience besides hitting you up at 2 o'clock in the morning and working you out and sending you back away? If I'm gonna really be seen with the public, be someone that's gonna be the curator of my future. Like, what else do you bring to this scope? Just in coming ass first. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got, man. I'm gonna end this. I'm hungry as hell, and I like that y'all was on this stream so tough. I didn't expect to go 2 hours, but I'm here. But I'm sorry, something next time I got you. I promise you. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Thank y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button on the way out. Do all the things that are definitely helpful for what's going on with the movement. And
shout out to
the next time, Hoop Jargon.
To the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon.